Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. I wanted to take a moment to take a look here at the daily chart first before we zoom into the smaller time frames, microstructures. The price has now formed a very healthy 5-wave move up from the swing low that formed here around the 7th of April. Like many other cryptocurrencies, we've witnessed over the last, like on many other cryptocurrency charts over the last few weeks, we witnessed a rally, and the expectation was for the price from down here to rally into resistance and ideally to form a 5-wave move up. So we've got our 5-wave move up now in wave 1. That's the yellow scenario that we're also tracking on the smaller time frame, right? So there's absolutely no change there. For those of you who've been following the updates, you guys know that we were watching for a 5-wave pattern, and that would be, 5 waves potentially in white wave A. Okay, that's one pathway that we're tracking. And the other one is 5 waves in wave 1. Now that means a wave 2 pullback is due. Okay, it's due, but that doesn't mean it started. It just doesn't mean it started yet. We will have to pay close attention to the microstructures to really tell us whether this correction, this pullback has actually started. And as I shared on X a few days ago, that's very important. By the way, follow us here on X for additional updates and so on, some behind the scenes content, additional updates, mindset stuff, and so on. But as I shared on X a few days ago, right? I communicated here, bit of an educational post. That's what MCO stands for as well, right? Education, not only chart analysis. So the count is full. So yeah, we could say that the wave count is full on the larger time frame on the Solana chart to the upside in wave 1. Yeah, because we have a 5-wave move. That sometimes people just seem to assume that means we now have to get a reversal, we have to get a pullback. That's just not the case. The reality is just be ready for a pullback, be ready for a break of micro support levels. The risk has increased. Yeah, a full wave count increases risk, but it doesn't mean that the trend is exhausted. That's very, very important to understand. Yeah, it's not about nailing the absolute top. No, it's about understanding what the relevant upside levels are that are likely to be reached, and then also to understand what is now the latest support. Like in the update I shared yesterday, we were watching for the price to get to at least $170. So again, these are the additional bonus updates you get on X as well. Not as many as in our gold membership, but the price was at around $160, tested support, I think, and is now pushing higher towards $170, and it has reached that one today, right? So let me just find the Solana chart again. Yeah, we've reached at least $170. In fact, we're just pushing slightly above it. That's absolutely okay. Shared that blue target zone yesterday. And that's exactly why we don't want to call a top too early. Now, this is now the smaller time frame chart with a 5-wave move up. When we have that on the larger time frame, then it is typically time to go to the smaller time frame to understand, okay, we have 5 waves up. What is the microstructure in that 5-wave move up? And what is support? And do I already see a full wave count on the microstructure? And if you followed previous updates, then you know that wave 5 to the upside was still expected to unfold. And I've made a small change today because I'm now labeling it as ABC structure. Okay, not a 5-wave move itself. Kind of missed that the entire move up is seen as a diagonal pattern. But that doesn't change anything in the short term because the support area remains unaffected by that. We just have to move it up with the price. And as we speak, Solana is going up significantly, so nearly vertically. So that still looks like a third wave, okay? And we just keep going with the trend as it extends. So it seems impulsive here, this move up. And in an impulse, it doesn't make sense to guess when the market is forming a top. We just go with the trend, and we know that this is likely a third wave, so it can extend. And we also know that wave 4 support should not break, or is typically located around the 50% retracement. Thanks so much for watching the videos on this YouTube channel. If you've been thinking about joining MCO as a member, now might be a great time. You can use the link in the video description and apply the discount code right below it. You will get 50% off your first month of our gold membership and you can explore everything we offer. It's the easiest way to test the membership, see if it's a good fit for you, and get a feel for the community, join the conversation, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in our member area. And that's at $159. So as long as we are holding that $159 level, there is absolutely no evidence at all that Solana has formed a top, okay? It simply tells you what are the levels that should be tested in a wave 4. I mean, can I rule out that the wave 4 already happened? No, but, you know, of course it might have happened. I mean, was this maybe the wave 4? You know, maybe, but it just doesn't, it's just not a healthy wave 4. So that's typically why I say when the third wave, when we keep pushing higher without a healthy fourth wave, then I assume we're still in the third wave, which tells us extensions are still about to happen, because we need a bit of a healthy, maybe 24-hour consolidation, I'd say, in wave 4 to call it a healthy wave 4. Hasn't happened yet. So further upside is still expected, potentially in wave 5 of C of circle wave 5 there. The next resistance is at $180 and then $191. And there's also going to be the next larger degree fib level. Hold on. No, we see that on the larger time frame. The larger degree fib level at around $191. It's the golden ratio level. That's an important one. And then $230. And if you watched previous videos over the last few weeks, months, then you know that my preferred interpretation is still that Solana gets to round about $360. I know it was easy to get bearish down here, but I always say that without evidence, I'm not going to confirm like a bear market or anything. So we're still looking for higher prices. For now, it's still going according to plan. And again, we don't want to call for a wave 2 correction until we have a break below micro support. So we're just guided by the price, right? Stay in the present, be guided by the price. The market will always tell us what's going on. Currently, what is happening? Trend line that I shared yesterday, still holding, okay? So a break below it might be the first indication that we have topped there. However, that is just a local top in wave 3, that would be. And when we break below the trend line, I'm going to watch micro support, $159, but that will have to be adjusted throughout the day. So that's what we're doing with our live charts that are available as in our membership. But as long as we're holding above $159, the direct move up can extend. And yeah, what else can I say? And so basically 2 parameters here, the trend line and then the $159 level. And as long as 159 holds, we have to give the market a little bit of breathing space, right? So it's just important to understand the higher the price goes, the higher the fib levels go with the price. But overall, like distance-wise, the price will move away further from the 50% retracement, even though we adjust it. That's just how the fib levels work. So the risk will increase as the price goes higher. And this just means at some point it just makes sense to lock in some profits or whatever. For example, if you entered here in this wave 2 support area, that was one of our 1-2 setups, then it definitely makes sense to adjust the stop. But how exactly you're doing that, that of course depends on you. Can't give financial advice here, but it's important to yeah, what should I say? To adjust the stop in order to reflect your own tolerance to risk. That's very important. What we also do is adjust support for this larger degree pullback, which is expected at some point, which is due. But as I said, it's actually not due on the smaller time frame, because the smaller time frame suggests that we could still get a few more upside movements. Now, let's also take a look at a bonus. Some of you will not have made it to the end of the video. Didn't tell it intentionally, so if you're interested in this, check it out. Solana Bitcoin, right? Solana BTC, that's the bonus for those who stick with us here, stay with us till the end. This is what I shared in our membership also a few weeks ago. The Solana BTC chart was expected to get another push higher, which is happening right now in wave 5 of 1. It has 5 waves up from the April low now. Bit of a deep, not really a deep pullback, but a bit more of an extended pullback there in wave 4 sideways, but held the 38.2 retracement. So I consider this to be also a wave 1 to the upside that might lead us to a wave 2 pullback. Of course, the higher it goes, at some point it might morph again into a 3-wave move or something, but overall, the idea is that we have a larger support area to which the market reacted and even a smaller target area. So what would be the next Fibonacci levels to watch? Let's add them to the chart. Now that the fib levels are respected so well. Will it also respect resistance? And again, I I always say that, be a bit on the side of caution with these BTC charts. Yeah, I mean, the BTC pairs, because they often just move in three-wave patterns. So my view is that next resistance is 0.00176, then 0.00185. And if we get to 0.00195, it's not a five-wave move anymore. It would then look more like a three-wave pattern, which means that it can still grind higher, but it will just be more messy and not as clear. But the cleanest bullish pathway would be give us five waves up, stay below 0.00185, because otherwise that fifth wave will get too long, and then start the wave 2 pullback. So yeah, that's the update about Solana. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.